Sit in any way that feels comfortable to your body. If your hips are tight, sit on a couple of folded blankets. Close your left nostril and exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. And then switch nostrils. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Switching after each inhalation. Exhale through the right. Inhale through your right nostril. Switch. Exhale through your left nostril. Inhale through the left nostril. Exhale through the right. Inhaling through the right nostril. Exhaling through the left. Use gentle pressure. Continue this pattern, following your own breath, switching nostrils after each inhalation. Alternate nostril breathing helps to soothe and calm the nervous system. It helps to bring your awareness inward. Use soft pressure on the nose. If your nose starts pointing in another direction, you're probably pushing a little too hard. So be gentle. Just a little soft pressure is all you need. Just enough to encourage most of the air to move in and out one nostril. Taking slow, deep breaths. Alternate nostril breathing also helps to balance the left and the right hemispheres of the brain. Let your belly rise as you inhale and deflate as you exhale. And letting your hands rest on your knees. Just take some nice deep breaths in and out your nose. Breathing in and out your nose. Place one hand above your belly and the other hand below it. Allowing your belly to rise as you inhale and deflate as you exhale. As you drop your chin down to your chest, letting the back of your neck stretch out. Or through Ujjayi breathing, it's deep diaphragmatic breathing, breathing from the back of your throat, making that nice ocean sound. So focus on the sound of your breath, letting your yoga practice become meditative. Gently bring your head up and tip your head over toward your left shoulder. Walk your fingers away from you, just stretching the side of your neck. Releasing tension. Inhale, bring your head back to center. And exhale, take your head over to your right shoulder. Releasing all that tension you've collected in your neck and shoulders. Deep Ujjayi breathing. Aware of each inhalation and exhalation. Inhale, bringing your head back up. And bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, circle your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands down the center. Flex your fingers. Nice stretch for the fingers. Good. Inhaling back up the center. Exhale, circle your arms down. Inhale, circle the arms up. Exhale, bring your hands down the center, flexing your fingers. Inhaling back up the center. Exhale, circle down. Inhaling up. over to the side. Bring your left hand down the ground. Bring your right arm up and over. I'll mirror you. Nice stretch up and down the side of your body. Opening, expanding the ribs. Inhale, circle your left arm up and over to the side. Put a nice stretch up and down the left side of the body. Opening up the rib cage, improving breathing. Bending your elbow, inhale, slowly come up. And then come onto your hands and knees. Exhale, rounding your back, tucking your chin in. And inhale, rotating your hips forward, arching your back, lifting up through your chin. Practice cat pose. Exhale, rounding the back, tucking your chin in. Inhale, rotating your hips forward, arching your back, lifting up through your chin. Exhale, rotating your hips back, tuck the chin in. Inhale, rotating your hips forward. Continue these movements at your own pace and sync with your breath. Cat pose is a wonderful pose to do daily, especially if you have lower back. It's a nice way to warm up the spine. Flex your toes, sit back on your heels. Feel a nice stretch in your feet. This is good for feet that have been cramped up in shoes all day. You can keep your hands stretched out in front of you, or you can move your hands in a little closer if your knees are a little more flexible and your toes are willing for the stretch. You can even come all the way up to a seated position if that feels good. If it doesn't, then keep your hands out in front. Coming onto your hands and knees again, we'll practice cat warm-up number 1. Exhale back into mecha pose. Inhale, round up onto the hands and knees, and then begin to rotate your hips forward, arching your back, lifting up through your chin. Exhale, bend the elbows a little or a lot. Cat bow, and then mecha. Inhale, rounding up onto your hands and knees, arching your back, lifting up through your chin. Exhale, cat bow, and mecha. Inhale, rounding up onto your hands and knees, arching your back. Exhale, cat bow, and mecha. Inhale, rounding up onto your hands and knees, arching your back. Exhale, cat bow, and mecha. Remember, you only have to bend your elbows a little bit. You don't have to go down all the way for cat bow. Do what feels good to your body. Inhale, rounding up onto your hands and knees, arching your back. Exhale, cat bow, and mecha. And let your lower back stretch out. Feel the nice stretch in your shoulders. Breathe. So holding the poses, but not the breath. Inhale, round up onto your hands and knees. Arch your back. Roll your shoulders back. Look up slightly. Exhale. Lower your forehead and lift your legs. Inhale, lift your chest up into cobra, and exhale into mecha. Inhale, rounding up onto the hands and knees, lowering the hips, rolling the shoulders back. Exhale, lower the forehead down and lift the legs. Inhale, lifting up into Cobra, only going as far up as it feels good to your body. Exhaling into Mecca. Inhale, rounding up onto the hands and knees, lowering the hips, rolling the shoulders back. Exhale, lower the forehead down and lift the legs. Inhale, lifting up into Cobra, only going as far up as it feels good to your body. Exhaling into Mecca. Allowing your lower back to just stretch out. Inhale, rounding up onto the hands and knees. Stretch up through your left arm and slide the left hand underneath your right arm, coming down onto your left elbow, or coming down to your left shoulder and your left ear. Just thread the needle twist. Or you could bring your palms together in Namaste. So you've got 3 variations of this twist, starting with the gentlest and then working on to a more challenging variation. Pick the variation that feels best to your body today. And then inhale, slowly come back up onto your hands and knees. Stretch your right arm up, reaching through the right fingertips, and exhale, thread the needle, coming down to your right elbow as you look to the left. Stay here, or come down to your right shoulder and your right ear. Or bring your palms together in Namaste. Nice spinal twist. Helps to realign the spine. And then slowly come back onto your hands and knees. Slide your right knee forward for pigeon pose. Stretch back through your left toes. Try to level out your hips. So rolling the left hip down a little more. Walk your hands out in front, lengthening your spine. Or you can come down onto your elbows, rolling your shoulders back and down, creating space between your shoulders and ears. Or you can come down onto your forehead, so resting on your hands, elbows, or forehead. And then inhale, come up, walking your hands back toward you. Roll your shoulders back and down, opening the chest, just going as far into this back bend as it feels good to your back. And then flex your toe, lift your hips, step back with your right foot into downward facing dog. And we'll practice on the other side. So pigeon pose, slide your left knee forward, stretch back through your right toes, walk your hands forward. Inhale, lengthening the spine. Exhale, come down into the elbows if that feels good, or stay on the hands. Roll your right hip down slightly, so the back of your hips are level. You can have your left foot directly underneath your pelvis, sitting on your foot, or like mine is now, you can slide it over in front of the right hip, just depending on what feels good to your knee. Inhale, slowly come up, roll your shoulders back. Pigeon pose is a wonderful hip opener. Great stretch for the psoas muscles. Step back into downward facing dog. Spread your fingers and just sort of walk in place. Bend the right knee and then bend the left knee. Bend the right knee and then bend the left knee. Just waking up the back of the legs. Walk your feet forward. Get nice and ground your feet and just hold on to your elbows, dangling here. Let your feet get grounded, pressing down to the four corners of your feet. Letting the back of your legs just stretch. Let gravity take over so your spine lengthens. Practice your Ujjayi breathing, taking nice long deep breaths. Letting gravity stretch out your hamstrings, all the muscles in your back, lengthening your spine. Relax the muscles in your neck. Let your head dangle, releasing all tension into the ground. Release your elbows. Inhale, look up, come about halfway up. Exhale, sink back down. Inhale, circle all the way up to standing. Nice deep inhalation, take your time. And then exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, circle your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, sinking back down. Inhale, circle the arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, circling out. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, sinking down. Inhale, circle all the way up. Feet are grounded. Kneecaps lifted. Exhale, hands to your heart. Practice your Ujjayi breathing. We'll do a side stretch. Bring your left arm up and stretch over to the right. Bend your elbow and inhale slowly. Come back up. Inhale, circle your right arm up and exhale to the left. Feeling that nice stretch in the ribs and the side of the waist. Deep breathing. Bend your elbow and inhale, come up. Practice our full sun salutations. Inhale, circle up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. You can come up onto your fingertips or you can slide your hands up to your knees. Exhale, stepping back with your right foot into a high lunge and then a low lunge, coming down on your right knee. Inhaling up onto your fingertips and exhale, step back into downward facing dog. Inhaling into plank pose. You can keep your legs straight for more challenge or come down your knees. Exhale, come all the way down onto the belly. Inhale, coming up into cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Walking your feet forward or jumping forward, whatever feels better. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, sinking back down into Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Inhale, circle all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to your heart. Deep breathing. Inhaling up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, sinking down, stepping back with your left foot. Inhale, up onto the fingertips. Crescent moon. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, coming into plank pose, keeping the legs straight or bending the knees. Exhale all the way down to the belly. Inhaling up into cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walking your feet forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhaling down. Inhale, circle your arms up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, circle your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, step back with your right foot. Coming down on your right knee. Inhaling up onto the fingertips. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Inhaling to plank. Exhaling down onto the ground. Inhale up into a gentle cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Reaching up through the sit bones, grounding the hands. Then walk your feet forward. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhaling back down. Inhale, circle all the way up. Exhaling, hands to your heart. Inhale, circle up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhaling, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, sinking back down. Stepping back with your left foot. Coming down on the left knee. Inhale, up onto the fingertips. Exhale, down dog. Pressing the front of the thighs back toward the hamstrings. Inhale into plank pose. Nice straight line, press back through the heels. Exhaling down the knees, all the way down to the belly. Inhaling up into cobra. Exhale, down dog. Rotating your thighs inward. Walking your feet forward. Inhale, looking up. Exhaling down. Inhale, circling all the way up. And exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, circle your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Going a little deeper each time. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, step back with your left foot. Coming down your left knee. Up onto the fingertips. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhaling into plank. Exhaling down. Inhaling up into cobra. Rolling your shoulders back and down, pressing down through the pelvis. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walking your feet forward. Inhale, looking up, exhaling down. Inhale, circle your arms all the way up. And exhale, hands to your heart. Now we're just going to release the wrists, so just circling your wrist a few times. helping to stretch your wrist out in the other direction for a little while, and then reverse that. So just rolling the wrist. And then sustain that stretch to the top of the wrist. Step back with your right foot, putting your hands on your hips. Exhale, fold forward, pressing your right hip forward and your left hip back into pyramid pose. Reach back for your fingers or your wrist or your elbows. You could always hold on to it with a strap instead. Lengthening the torso, exhale, going a little further forward if that feels good to your back. Only going as far forward into pyramid pose as it feels good to your body. Feel a wonderful stretch up and down the back of the left leg, as well as the back of the right leg. This pose is especially good for the kidney. Try to keep the hips level, the spine long, and the legs straight. You can bring your feet a little closer together or further apart. Inhale, slowly come up and bend your left knee. Circle your arms up into warrior one. You can have your arms wide. And go ahead and bend your elbows so that your arms are in like a football goalpost position. Roll your shoulders back and down, elbows wide. Rotate your hips back slightly, lifting your hip points. Press down into your right heel, and then circle your arms down and step forward with your right foot. On the other side, step back with your left foot. Take your hips forward so the hips are pointing straight ahead. Exhale, fold in the hip joints, folding over your right leg. Reach back for your fingers or your wrist or your elbows. Exhale, go down a little further if it feels comfortable. Inhale, lengthening the spine. Exhale, sinking down a little further until you find your stopping point. So don't go as far as your neighbor or as me. Just go as far as it feels good to your body. So you may be able to go further, or you may need to go just an inch or two. Do what feels good to your body. Yoga is a non-competitive sport. Bend your right knee and inhale, slowly come up. Rotating your hips back. Let go of the elbows and inhale, circle your arms up. And then exhale, bend the elbows and press the elbows back. It's a nice way to open up the front of the body. It's a wonderful counter pose to slouching. Press down to your left heel, straightening that left leg. Left hip comes forward, right hip comes back. Right knee points in the same direction as your second toe. Gently pull your front lower ribs in toward your spine and releasing the arms. Stepping forward. And I'll mirror you in these next poses. Turn your right foot out 90 degrees and slide your left heel away from you. Stretch your arms out nice and wide. Stretch out over your right leg. Bring your right hand down and stretch up through your left fingers. Grounding the four corners of your feet. Legs are nice and straight. The four corners of the feet are grounded. The quadriceps are contracted. They're engaged so that the kneecap lifts. The thighs are rotating out. Practice your deep ujjayi breathing, focusing on the sound of your breath. Bend your right knee, place your right hand on your knee, or place your right elbow on your knee, side angle stretch. Stretch from the outer edge of your left foot through your left fingertips. Rotate. Spin your ribs up toward the ceiling, up toward the sky, opening up the ribs to the sky. Let your shoulders relax down away from your ears. Check that your right knee points in the same direction as your second toe. The thighs are engaged. And then release your arm down. Inhale, sweep your right arm up and slide your left hand down your leg, opening up the other side of the rib cage. Practice your ujjayi breathing. Pressing down to the full corners of your feet. Keep your hips where they are and just move your upper body, your arms. Stretch your arms out nice and wide into warrior two. In all these standing poses, we're strengthening the legs, toning the muscles, improving circulation. Look down the middle of your right hand. Relax your shoulders down a little more and breathe. Release the arms, straighten your leg. Turn your feet parallel and then reverse the feet. Turn your left foot out 90 degrees and slide your right heel away from you. Stretching your arms out nice and wide, reach out and over the left leg, down and then up through the right hand. Triangle pose. Spin your ribs up toward the sky. Rotate your thighs out. Feet are grounded. Legs are straight. Quads are engaged so the kneecaps lift. Relax your shoulders down. You can look down, straight ahead, or up. It's whatever feels good to your neck. You can do a combination. But most important, breathe. You can have your hand on your thigh, your shin, the ankle, a block, or the ground. But check that you're in one plane. You want your shoulders to be stacked over your left leg. You don't want your shoulders in the front of the leg, but stacked over. And then bend your left knee. Place your left hand on your knee or bring your elbow down to your knee. Or if you need even more challenge, you're welcome to bring the hand down to the floor. Bring your right arm toward your ear. And stretch from the outer edge of the right foot all the way up the right side of the body to the right fingertips. Feel that nice long stretch in side angle. This is a great release for the hips. We're strengthening the musculature of the body, the sides, the arms and legs. We're elongating the entire spinal column, reducing fat on the waist and the hips. Strengthening the ankle, the calves, the thighs, and arms. Stretching the torso. And then releasing. And stretch up with your left arm as you slide your right hand down your leg, opening up the other side of the ribs. Keep your knee pointing in the same direction as your second toe. The thighs are rotating out. And without moving your hips and your legs, just moving the upper torso. Stretch your arms out nice and wide in warrior two. Looking down the middle of your left hand, relaxing your shoulders, breathing. So we're strengthening and stretching the legs and ankles, stretching the chest and shoulders. This is good for the lungs. We're improving the flexibility of the hips and the groin, warming the body up, increasing stamina and determination. This is good for flat feet. When you come out of the pose, turn your feet parallel and fold forward. Roll your shoulders away from your ears. Let your hands rest on the outside of your legs, thighs, your calves, or around your ankles, wherever you can reach comfortably. Just make sure you're lifting your shoulders away from your ears and that you're rotating your hips forward, moving the belly toward the inner thighs. The thighs are engaged so the kneecaps lift, the feet are grounded. Inhale, come halfway up. Just taking our time to come up so we don't get dizzy. And then exhale your hands to your hips. Inhale, come the rest of the way up. Walk your feet in and step your feet together. Getting nice and grounded in the four corners of your feet. Go into tree pose next. So bending your left knee, place your left foot at your ankle, your calf, or your thigh. So beginners will want to start with their foot at their ankle. And then as you become stronger and more steady, you can bring your foot a little higher. Just make sure that your foot's not on the knee itself. So above the knee or below the knee, but not on the knee joint itself. That way you protect your knee. Hands to your heart, spine is long. And let's go to the other side. Take a moment, ground your foot, bend your right knee, open your right knee up. Keep your hips level and pointing straight ahead. Stretch up through the crown of your head. And bring your foot to your ankle, your calf, or your thigh. Again, it's wherever you feel steady today, and that changes from day to day. Tree pose helps to strengthen your feet, your ankles, your legs, and lower back, improving balance, posture, and concentration. Pick one spot and just gaze softly at that one spot. That helps with balance in these standing poses. And then come down. Fold forward at the hip joints. Let your hands slide down the back of your legs. Relax the muscles in your neck. Let your head dangle. Bend your knees. Intertwine your fingers behind you. You can use a strap or hold on to the finger. Slowly straighten your legs as you stretch your arms up and over. Inhale, come halfway up, and then dive a little deeper this time. And release your arms down. Step back into downward facing dog. Inhale, come into plank, and then down on your knees. Exhale, come all the way down. Point your toes. Bring your arms by your sides, palms up. Bend your knees, and inhale, lift your chest up. Stretch your fingers toward your heels. Now this is the nice beginner's version, a gentler version. So you can stay here. Or if your knees are happy with holding onto your ankles and that feels comfortable, then hold on to your ankles. If you feel comfortable lifting your knees, lift your knees. This is the bow pose. So we started with the beginner's version, and this is a little more challenging. Practice the version that feels good to your body today. Exhale. Release and come down. And let your shins, your feet go side to side like windshield wipers. Just resting your head. Your feet are going side to side like windshield wipers. Just let your lower back relax. You can do slow, soft movements or large, fast movements, whatever feels good. Make this your yoga practice. And bring your hands into your shoulders. Come up onto your hands and knees. Stretch back into Mecca pose, letting that lower back just stretch out for a moment. And then roll over onto your back. Feet grounded. Feet are about 8 inches apart. Then lift the feet up into half boat, strengthening the abdominal muscles, rolling the head and shoulders off the ground, stretching your fingers toward your feet. Gently pull your knees into your chest. You can have your knees together or your knees apart. Hug your right knee in and stretch out through your left toes. You can continue holding on to your leg, or you can stretch out through your fingertips, rolling your shoulders and your head off the ground. And then switch legs. Pull the left knee in and straighten the right leg. Just working on the abs for a little while. And gently release and come down. Now feet flat. Stretch out through your left leg and pull your right knee in toward you, and then take your right knee over to the left for a spinal twist. Stretch out through your right arm and gently turn your head a little to the right if that feels good to your neck. You can have your right foot anywhere that feels comfortable. You can have it on your upper leg or down lower on your leg if that feels better to your hip and knee. Gently release and roll onto your back. Lift your hips and take your hips a little to the left. Straighten your right leg, pull your left knee in, and take your left knee down and over to the right. Stretch out through your left arm and gently turn your head a little to the left. It's okay if your shoulder's off the ground. Just going as far into the twist as it feels good to your back. This is great for digestion, elimination, helps with constipation, helps just keeps things moving, nourishing all the abdominal organs. Then roll onto your back, feet flat. This time have your feet 8 inches apart. And get ready for a bridge pose. Inhale, roll the hips off the ground, lifting the hips up as high as you comfortably can. And that might be a few inches or more, just do what feels good. Exhale, slowly roll the spine back down. Inhale, roll the hips up. Roll and tuck your shoulders underneath. If it feels good, you can intertwine your fingers underneath or just keep stretching your fingers toward your feet. Nice deep breathing. Feet are grounded, thighs are parallel. The feet are apart, the legs are a little bit apart. Chin tucked in just a little. You don't want anything under your head other than your mat. That way your head and your shoulders are on the same level. Now you are welcome to put a couple of folded blankets under your shoulders to elevate your shoulders, but you don't want your head higher than your shoulders. Exhale, slowly roll down. Hug your knees into your chest and rock your knees side to side. You can have your knees together or your knees apart. You can make slow, small movements, or you can make bigger movements. Just test it out and do what feels good to you. It's massaging the lower back and the back of the hips. And then circle the knees around, again, small or large movements. Reversing. And bring your feet flat to the ground. Getting ready for relaxation. Now you can practice relaxation with the knees together, feet flat on the ground. Or you can practice relaxation with your legs straight. Doing whatever feels good to your lower back. You can even rest on your side or on your belly. Most important is that you're comfortable. Comfortably away from your body and that your head is straight. You don't want to be so close that you feel cramped. Try to be symmetrical and comfortable. Find your perfect alignment and give yourself permission to relax and do nothing for the next few minutes. Close your eyes. Relaxation is simple, so keep it simple. All you do is relax everywhere and be aware of how you feel. Relax and feel. Relax every physical and mental tension. Temporarily let go of everything you don't need. And simply pay attention and see what happens. For these next few minutes, willingly put aside your worries, fears, and concerns of the day. Even better, release those worries and fears up to God, letting go of them and giving them over to Him. Release every discernible hint of tension in your body and be aware of how you feel. And as that tension is released, savor the way you feel. Experience what's happening right now where you are. We have a tendency to be unconsciously tense or anxious, both physically and mentally, because it feels normal to us, and we barely even notice it. The idea, therefore, is to be increasingly conscious of tension, of where your body is uncomfortable or tight, even just a little, and then to deliberately release that tension, that discomfort, and relax in order to experience what it feels like to be completely tension-free. Not uptight anywhere, not contracted, not compressed, not depressed, not shielded, not in a posture of self-protection or self-defense, but voluntarily undefended and relaxed, and therefore expansive, spacious, clean, wide open, with a heart that's open, a breath that's easy. Begin to sense the stillness within you. Experience your peace. The peace of stillness feels good. Experience the calm. And as you practice relaxation pose on a regular basis, the peace will become easier and relaxation will become increasingly familiar to you. Deep, healing, soothing peace. Open up to the peace of God. Gently wiggle your fingers and toes. Bending your knees. And slowly roll onto your side. Press down with your hand and gently roll up. Bring your head up last so the muscles in your neck remain relaxed. Bringing your hands to your heart, take a moment to thank God for 3 things today. Namaste. We'll begin a brief meditation. So just listening to the sound of the singing bowl and allowing the sound of the singing bowl to help you begin your meditation. In a few moments, it'll help you to end it. Sitting up nice and tall, relaxing your shoulders, softening and closing your eyes. Just focus on the sound of your breath. heart, take this moment to thank God for 3 things today. Namaste.